Hello and welcome to another Boob Tube Buddies podcast, coverage of Sense8 Season 2, Episode 5. What's the title?
Fear never fixed anything.
Fear never fixed anything. Thank you. That, of course, is
I'm
Kristin.
gonna talk like this the whole time.
That's fine. That, of course, is Kristin. I'm Mike.
Hi.
Just a little bit of house cleaning. At boobtubebuddies.com, you can find all the information about us, what shows we're covering. We are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, Reddit, Instagram. We always hope that you guys will go to iTunes and review the podcast, 5 stars all the way. Team K&M?
Team K&M.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Those are my initials.
I know, that's why I said that. I just thought it worked. Double entendre.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
not
Yeah,
double
you're right.
entendre,
You're good.
You can also support the show through Patreon. We do have a Patreon account. The link is on our website. Right, and also support our sponsors, Audible and Blue Apron. Right now we're covering Better Call Saul, American Gods, Fargo, Twin Peaks, and Foxman and Mothman just did Alien Covenant. I think that came out this morning. And
I'm actually going to be wiggling my way into Twin Peaks a little. So
I hear that they're trying to, I think Mothman wants to, bring everybody in on different episodes because it's a bunch of show that's going to, it's 18 one-hour episodes.
So good so far.
He asked me about it, and I'm like, yeah, I remember Twin Peaks. He asked me if I'd ever seen the show. I was like, yeah, I remember it. And then I went back and, watched it. I'm like, oh, no. I was watching Northern Exposure.
Oh!
So
very similar, very similar.
It's a little different, but...
you should watch that.
Yeah, I will. I just have to order Showtime.
It's on the Buddies level of weirdness.
Yeah, I have to order Showtime through Amazon, though, so...
No, watch the original first.
Oh, yeah. I probably would just watch the new ones.
Oh, but you would appreciate.
Hey.
Trust me.
I got.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I got Sense8 to watch. But we do have over 200 episodes on there, so yes. We have a bunch of content for you, and I'm sure we've got something you're gonna like.
Super good catalog.
Without further ado, let's jump into this episode.
Summing it up in a tweet?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into summing it up in a tweet.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're summing it up, just to summing it up. Summing it up, oh yeah, we're summing it up. Oh yeah, we're summing it up, just to summing it up. Summing it up and up.
Tweet.
You want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. I'll get my horribleness out of the way. Okay. So, okay. Oh.
It's rough.
Let's start again.
Yep.
Fear and courage encompassed this hour. By the end turning tables, this cluster feels power. The sensei, not Sense8, but still a good one. Tell me the future, Mike. What happens to the moon and the sun?
As I say, I like that. So that obviously had more thought. Mine was anger filled.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I had a little bit of rage on this episode. So mine is, I don't know what to say now that E-Death's in play, but it seems lazy and cheap, and the show's better than this bleep. And that...
You know what? I agree with that.
Yeah, and that is summing it up in a tweet.
Hey there, buddies. If you've been listening, you may have heard we have Blue Apron as a sponsor now. Look, anyone can try Blue Apron, okay? Bok choy, lentils, miso butter, who even knows what any of that is? It just so happens that I've started my own deluxe meal delivery program. Welcome to Bethany's Boob Tube Buddies creations. Now picture this. A hot dog made with only the finest animal byproducts, heated in the microwave to perfection. Room temperature green beans, no prep needed, just a can opener and a fork will suffice. And finally, mashed potatoes made from a powder packet. It's science. If you're feeling adventurous, try my taco slopper dump dinner. Comprised of old taco shells crumbled up in a pan. Add any type of cheese you'd like. Cheese not provided in delivery. Salsa or tomato sauce, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Some sort of canned bean, like a creamy cheese. If you don't have that, just use regular milk maybe. Let's see, ground beef or chicken, and any fresh veggie of your choice. Although none will be provided as I don't use fresh veggies in any of my recipes. voila! Oh, and speaking of dump, all of my meals are sure to keep you regular in the bathroom, if you know what I mean. Act now for 5% off your first order. It'll probably take like 6 weeks to arrive, maybe longer. I don't really know yet. Of course, in the meantime, feel free to try blueapron.com/BTB for $30 off your first order. Next week, I'll share with you my white trash pizza recipe, sure to please a hungry crowd. Until next time, little buddies, happy eating.
Yeah, the E-Death thing in this episode, and we'll get to it, was really lazy.
I'm not going to call him the guy. I'm going to call him the guy. Because he was obviously anonymous / B for Vendetta, that whole...
Yeah, and the
damn the man saved the empire attitude.
Yeah, that also pissed me off, the V for Vendetta, because that's a they produced it.
Did they?
Wachowskis?
I did not know that.
I've never pronounced that name right. Wachowskis. They produced that, so they had a role in it. And there's a lot of that I realized in this show where they, like we talked about the authors at the bookstore last time when one of them was Cloud Atlas, which was one of their vehicles. So, whatever. I just got annoyed.
What's the group of guys that do...
if you heard that humming, that's your best friend.
Hi, Lauren. Do you remember Club Dread and
oh, yes.
Super Troopers and all that?
Broken Lizard.
You actually know Club Dread?
Yes.
I started out and thinking in my head, like, he's not going to know Club Dread. I love you for that, by the way.
I like Club Dread.
Okay, you are experiencing a moment where I love Mike just that much more.
Yeah.
But
did we just become best friends?
Yup. So that's how I feel like they're approaching this. Like they need to take things from, oh, I know you from this production, so let's throw you in this, and let's throw a little Easter egg in this, and their Easter eggs are just not Easter eggs. They're not like fun little, they're like just blatant.
Yeah, and listen, there's enough to go on in the show where they don't have to play games.
Exactly.
So just be straightforward and do it. I'm gonna let it slide, but I'm watching.
That's such a good way to say it because, like, for example, Fargo has a lot of Easter eggs, but there's not a lot going on, so these Easter eggs are very much appreciated. However, like you said, there's already enough going on in this show that you don't need to add more to it.
Right. It's jam-packed with storylines and possibilities, so.
Exactly. Very good point. Okay, so we start off and everyone is sad that Jonas is dead.
Yeah, sitting on the dock of the bay, letting the tears roll away.
On the dock of the bay. Sorry.
No, it's all right. That's
I like a little Otis Redding.
That's immediately what popped into my mind when I saw him sitting on there too when I was watching the show.
Love the Otis Redding thrown in there.
But then it's a little thing where they talk about him being gone, and then it jumps right to Capheus.
Yeah, Komanyaga.
And
I love that for dinner.
Who I really was hoping was going to be a real person.
Favorite Japanese meal.
Is it? I don't know what it is.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Well, you got me.
It was just like the worst joke that I'm now immediately.
Well, you were talking about sushi last week off air, and so now it's like, oh, she's serious.
I'm immediately
right now.
regretting it, but yeah, he's offering him a position in the what is it? The Democratic Reform Party. Yeah,
and so they have their little meeting. Capheus kind of laughs him out. He thinks Jella sent them, and it's a joke. And he's like, you don't know what it's like to live in Kybera. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, we don't know. And he's like, well, I'm not a politician. And as they say again, because we've heard it now like 5 times this season, we don't want a politician. We want a leader.
Yes.
So, okay.
We get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
There's a lot of this in this episode. I don't want to be too negative.
No, it is true. You have to understand at the end of the day, Michael and I would have not covered Sense8 if we weren't fans.
Right.
So this is just constructive criticism.
Yeah, and to be fair, like I said last episode, that there's like a stretch of shows coming up, and I forgot about this one. This one wasn't my favorite. It's the 3 after this that are so good. But the
really,
yeah,
ooh, because I'm just caught up to where
we're doing
these
2 episodes. Okay. Yeah, so you haven't gotten to the outfit yet. We're going to discuss the outfit in length when we get there.
See, I'm sitting here trying to guess.
No.
Okay, do you want to know the 2 I've guessed? So I don't know if they're in this episode. We'll get to it.
Well, it definitely wasn't.
I guessed 2.
It wasn't definitely the plaid shirt and the high risers from last episode that Lito was rocking.
No, there's 2, and one's a joke, and then one's like serious, and I'm like, did he want this outfit? So
Oh no!
I'll ask you about it.
You're gonna see it, and you're gonna be like, "That's it."
Yeah.
It looks too
Okay.
awesome.
Oh, okay, good.
But yeah, we go like so. Capheus has a little run in, then we jump to Sun, who's going. This is kind of like going home for her, right?
My favorite part of this episode were these scenes.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of like you feel bad for her because she's got all these bad relationships with men because apparently we said there's no good Korean men.
Apparently
except
not.
for-
There's no good Korean men out there except for some guy I know, Jay, which my friend Stephanie's marrying, and he's great.
And this teacher.
This guy, it's very there's kind of a formula to it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's definitely a.
It's a very Mr. Miyagi
Thank you.
relationship.
Okay, I didn't want to say it. Thank you.
Yeah.
You said it. I didn't.
So like, and we're going with that. Like that's a common trope, and maybe it's a little tired, but it's a good one.
It still works.
Yeah, right. So I wasn't upset with that
But
at all.
like you said with Nomi, like it's not always the actor that does it; it's the writing behind it.
Yeah, the situations there's sometimes they're just not great.
So yeah, you can do that formula over and over again, but it's still going to be amazing and endearing and likable because of who's behind it. And I do like I love Sun, and I actually like that guy and the writing behind it.
Yeah, and she got the one little tear coming down her cheek, and it's so touching.
Very crybaby.
The dog, I'm sure, was very touching for a lot of people.
You're like, except for me. I dropped them and I put them away.
Oh, get out of here! But you mongrel.
Watch it.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
so that's nice. And then later on, we see that continued out where she wakes.
She gets a rest. She gets some food.
Okay. So when was it last episode where she gets pulled out of her cell, or the episode before it, and they're sleeping in jail, and they have these weird little neck cushions that they have in Asian cultures, and I've tried them. They're super uncomfortable, so I'm sure you have to
Really?
get used to them. But they all kind of sleep there on their back. Well, now she's in a bed with a full pillow, and she's just sleeping there like a zombie. And I'm talking to the ceiling if that got weird. But but like, it looks so uncomfortable how she's sleeping when the dog comes and wakes her up.
Yeah, I know. And what's so funny is the extended amount of time they had the dog lick her face. It wasn't about the dog coming up and licking her face and like being funny. It was the extended amount where I was like, all right, this is starting to get a little uncomfortable.
That shit would have woke me up the moment I heard those
Exactly.
nails on the wooden floor.
Thank you. Exactly. For somebody so badass, your reflexes are not as amazing as I thought they would be. And then we have Kala.
I like this scene where she's just absentmindedly eating the food her dad's putting in there, and he's like, he's telling her the ingredients, and it's what, like spiders and horse or shoe leather, then
And she's like, yep.
horse shit. Mm-hmm. And she's like, my favorite.
My favorite. She's obviously off in La La Land.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of these scenes are very similar in this episode when they go back to her and her dad. Listen, she ain't happy.
No, she's not happy.
She's not happy, and it's pretty much a couple different scenes of them going around and in the end talking about how she's not happy.
Yeah, you get the little story about the red doll, about her red-haired doll, which it's meaningful because I think he's trying to say, like, the heart knows what it wants, and sometimes being adults, we just let all the other shit get in the way.
Yep.
So, so he's just like, go chase what your heart really wants, and that'll come up later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I wish you would.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then we have pregnant posy bug.
Okay. So there's like, it's Nomi and Amanita talking, and what I wrote down is a couple of fucking Nancy Drews.
Oh, that's exactly it. Done.
Yeah.
Pain. You got it.
they're just annoying now. Like, it's almost comical.
It is almost comical. It's now turning into like some syndicated TNT crime show that you put on at 3 p.m. I'm like,
Yeah. It's no longer even remotely believable. I mean, I don't know what, I mean.
at first it was really cool. You wanted to keep up with the pace.
Right.
The music in the background. Oh, yeah. And then.
Yeah. And then Bug comes in and he's talking about.
Did you watch Big Little Lies?
No.
Okay. Well, there's this whole thing about
I have looked at the picture of Nicole Kidman naked, though.
Nicole Kidman and Alexander Skarsgård, and he is abusive. Each episode, there would be a scene where she says something wrong, and he beats her, and then they fuck. And that's how I feel like with this. Like, it's like, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. And they're like you said, a couple of Nancy Drews. Then all of a sudden, Bug comes out of nowhere. And I do like that they called out the pregnant pause, but I also felt like that was kind of cheesy as well.
It is. And like, just for a second, when she's like, can we stop it with the pregnant pauses? He's normal. Just for a breath, he's normal.
That's it.
And then he goes right back to being fucking Bug. I'm like, God damn it.
There's a reason his name's Bug.
Yeah. But he's talking about E-Death, which is going to be a major part here. And it's basically like a CIA redaction protocol, which basically wipes your electric footprint off the face of the planet.
I feel like that was given as much thought as Bad Person's Organization.
Yeah, I think it's...
E-Death?
I think it was basically... How are we going to get Nomi and Amanita back out into the world as quickly as possible? Go. And the only person in the room was the FedEx guy. He's
I have something to say about that later, by the way.
How about you just delete their history?
Exactly. Why don't you just select all and hit delete?
Yeah. No offense to FedEx guys, but
Control delete.
Yeah. It's really perfunctory, and I'm like, oh, it's bad. There was a lot of cheese to it. And like I said, at first I liked how they called out the pregnant pause. But then I was like, no, that was actually pretty cheesy. Yeah. I mean, maybe if you just left it at the pregnant pause thing and then moved on. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of somewhat humorous, the first part of it.
Yep.
But no.
And then when he went back and did it again, I was like, okay, go away.
I'll set it up. It's like, oh man, whatever. Gotta move on.
It's not your first time. This ain't your first rodeo, Wachowskis.
Where's my blood pressure medication?
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Okay, Sensei?
I was going to say Capheus.
Oh, okay.
Because we go to Capheus after that, like during this whole thing.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. You showing up at that girl's work uninvited? That's a little creeper. I don't know how things work.
As a woman... If she's just that into him, not creeper. Cool. All right. Yeah. As long as he came to drop the mic and be like, taking you out Friday night, be there, and then leave. Hanging around would be creepy, but no, I like the show up.
Okay.
Not the worst thing in the world if she is just that into you. If she's not, then a little creepy. But it's all dependent on the girl's mood, which you guys can never and don't even expect to. Be able to depict or understand.
Yeah, I look at pictures of 1950s
but
magazines.
But if he is into him, totally a good move. Then we have the 3 fucking chicken heads.
Yeah.
To the right.
I just wrote down douchebag office boys.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Nobody's like that, right?
What silver spoon assholes.
Yeah. And I like the little nasty attitude-y looks the secretary shooting
they played them well.
Yeah. And like the little girl, she's giving her like the little sideways glance of like, fuck you, guy. Oh, yeah. There we go. Show has just begun.
Clink to drink.
Yeah. But yeah, and their main thing was just saying that she had an affair with a woman. No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just love how they built it up. Exactly. Shit happens in college.
Yeah.
I mean, and of course, it was so... I felt, again, it was like very cliche.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I hate to have that pregnant pause like Bug. I felt like it was very, cliche.
What bugged me though is that Capheus didn't get any of the innuendo. No. Like, she packs a lunchbox instead of a baguette.
I love the innuendos though. Those
right. Like what? And then, what are we supposed to do here? And basically they break it down for him. Like, if you have a dick in your pants, you have no chance. Oh, thank you. Got it. I do have a dick in my pants. I will see you later. Apparently.
I wish that's how the entire conversation actually went. That would be amazing. Okay, so then we have Sensei and Son.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's where they're like hanging out and they see the interview with the brother. Yes?
Interview with the brother.
Interview with the vampire?
No, go ahead.
The brother.
Go ahead.
They're watching TV and they're chilling.
Okay.
She's rested. She's played with the dog. She's ate. And by the way, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
I hate to back turn.
Why did I?
But when she's slurping that soup and then she gives him that cheeky,
burp.
I found it endearing, but
I think that a big part of that was the music that was playing was like really light and funny and kind of goofy music. So I think it kind of helped make the scene goofy, and it's not something you usually see from her. So
you're right.
Yeah, so it's not.
You have a very good way of like making me realize things.
Oh.
Sorry.
No.
I hate to compliment you.
but like, and you don't see it from her. So like, it's not something you'd expect from someone. So yeah, it's nice. It's a break. If she was doing that every episode all the time, well, she can go in the Nomeo.
The show can be cliche, but it's very good at being cheeky.
Right. Yeah. When it's cheeky, it's very good.
Yes. Exactly. But I think that they think they're being cheeky with Bug.
They're not.
And they're not.
No.
And somebody needs to tell them.
It is blunt force trauma at this point in time.
Bug force trauma?
Yeah. Oh, the puns.
Oh, it won't end with me.
No.
The puns are never done. I like rhyming too, by the way.
Yeah. You can't pun without the rhyming.
Exactly. But she sees an interview with her brother who was like, I don't expect this from my sister, and that very understated silent threat he gives that he doesn't want this to keep going so no more people get hurt. And then she punches the TV, and that was the most painful part of me to watch, is a good solid 60-inch flat screen just getting punched to shit.
I know.
I didn't like it.
But part of me, and I know this is going to sound bad, when she did it, I'm like, it's Asia. They have a lot of TVs over there. So it's like, I'm like, I know that's slightly racist.
Chump change.
Yeah. Like, I just feel like they probably
That's
had
Asian chump change.
Yeah. Like I have,
I love it.
Plastic Publix bags under my counter. They have TVs hanging around.
And then Sensei was like, well, if you weren't going to do it, I was.
Yeah.
I love that. But one of my favorite things is when they're like training again, and he just looks at her and he's like, jail was good for you.
Yeah, because she's knocking the shit out of his hand. She's full on Rocky and
full force. Yeah. I love it. It's so good. And then then we get to a heavier scene.
The Riley will
Milt.
Yeah. And he basically whispers is just like, all right, this is where I'm at. Mm-hmm. I'm in such a strong position now. I don't even care what you know anymore.
Thanks to you, I have the most secure position I've ever had in this organization.
Yeah. He gives a nice architecture lesson.
Yeah, it's like
it's like, I now know what perpendicular Gothic is.
It's all with the symbolism with this building represents who you are.
Yeah. And he's sitting there and he's talking about he doesn't expect Will to understand him. They talk about Angelica and how Angelica broke, but she was on board with BPO.
I was right about that bitch.
Yeah. Right. And he's
Sorry.
like, and he's like, you understand breaking better than most because your dad broke. He's like, but instead of putting a gun in his mouth, he put a bottle in there. Mm-hmm. And something happens here that I'm like, this is dangerously close to spousal abuse because Will's like, oh, let me show you how I break things. And he takes this big swing at Whispers and who pops back, jumps out. And he had to almost hit Riley. I'm like,
yes, exactly.
I'm like, what if he had knocked Riley out there? I mean, real life.
We've had a couple of those things, especially the Lilith Kini. Maybe that's
with the gun.
Sorry, yeah. I don't know if it is, but
what?
When the gun, like she did it twice, like trying to. No, I said I don't know if it's in the next episode, but.
Oh no, it's in this one.
Okay, good.
It might be in the next one.
Where like she
whatever
tries to shoot him.
Yeah.
A couple times, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, and I thought about that.
I'm starting to get a little confused by that, though. Like, are they, like, playing with the rules on who can see who, when, and I feel like, I don't know.
I thought it was pretty straightforward. Like, I don't know if I saw anything, like, that was worse in these episodes than, like, when we talked about meeting Jonas at the trading station, and sometimes he was talking directly to Will, and sometimes he was looking at the other Sense8s who weren't there.
Yeah.
And we didn't really understand that, but I'm going to forgive it because they actually do something in this episode that kind of changed my mind on all that, but we'll get to it.
All right, sounds good.
But, yeah, so,
oh, yeah, well, he reveals, like, he pretty much says he's the bad guy, like, these sensoriums are good for violence, like.
Right, thank you. He was like, and he also said like he's trying to negotiate a peace between the most aggressive species in the history of the world in the sensorium.
Exactly.
And so he's, you can understand different motivations, and, he obviously is some kind of psychopath, like Will says, but...
He just glosses over killing... What's her name,
Oh,
Sarah?
Sarah, right. Oh,
Yeah, just glosses
good
the
job.
fuck over it.
Good job.
He's just like, oh, who?
Yeah, and
New phone, who dis?
Right. And that was so cold. Like
It was so cold because at first, like within a millisecond, I thought, oh, did he not actually kill her? And then literally like less than a second later, he's like, well, there are casualties to like your end goal. So
yeah, and I'm curious if he did that purposefully just to get Will's goat, knowing that Will was connected with that girl back in the day. But it kind of seemed like he just didn't give a shit.
for a millisecond,
Built a second. Nice.
got it? Yeah. Boom.
They're getting stronger.
I thought maybe, I'm like, okay, is this going to be a scenario in a TV show where you spend the whole first season hating somebody and all of a sudden he's going to turn out to be kind of an ally over, like, no, you don't know if he's going to be an ally or not in the second season. And then in the third season, he's just like one of the gang. You know what I'm saying? You know how that happens sometimes where you turn the evil person into the good person, you almost like them that much more.
Yeah. And we kind of see that with Angelica, where she's supposed to be a good person that got turned into an evil person. So, yeah, I guess it would surprise me to a certain extent because they're really sunk in now. But if he came around, it wouldn't be the first time that you ever saw that on television.
Yeah, exactly. But I thought maybe that was the moment. And then, like, he said a couple things. I'm like, nope, not the moment. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Not happening. Okay. Wait, oh.
Well, we jump to Kala then, and we get a nice little heated argument between between the two fathers.
I love this scene.
Yeah, man.
This is such a real scene because, like, I've seen that happen in families where you're like, oh, that is delicious. This is super fucking awkward. Can we please move on from it?
Yeah, and Rajan's dad is such a dick.
Oh my God.
And
I think he might be more of a douchebag than Vincent.
he might be, but Vincent has a great
A different douchery?
Yeah, but he gets, like, Vincent, we're going to find out, rides a boat better than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
That was such bullshit.
His hair blowing back. I was like, that's how you ride a boat.
I do appreciate Sense8's approach to ultimate cliches and cheesiness.
Yeah.
You guys, that's all your show is, but you pull it off well, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, he gets like Kala's dad gets in the best line. He's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry I spent my life learning how to be a cook. I wasn't lucky enough just to be born rich.
That was boom.
Mic drop.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it was really good. But then we get to the meat of the episode. Lido.
Oh, our favorite part.
So maybe not the meat, but our favorite.
Oh, well, technically, the meat.
He's pretty meaty.
He's pretty meaty.
But he's reading all those scripts we saw him get last episode. And they're
He
all...
just knows how to play depressed and sad and comedic. I'm surprised by how good of an actor this guy is. He's actually a very good actor.
I think so. Yeah. I
want to see him in other stuff.
So do I. Like, I'm a fan. Like, I feel about Lido the way you feel about Max, maybe with less attraction.
Honestly, I was watching it last night, and like a scene with Max came up, and I'm like, this is why I watched the show. But then when a scene with Lido came up, I'm like, nope, this is why I watched the show.
Yeah, but he's being typecast. He can't get serious.
Take a sandwich.
Daniela. But he's getting typecast because, you know, it's all these roles like, you know, sensitive brother or gay coke dealer.
I personally would watch the serial killer mascara movie, though.
So would I. Right, but we also are finding like they're very small parts.
Go for that one. Oh yeah, this one's 8 pages.
Yeah, but he gets an invitation, which will come into play to the Brazilian Sao Paulo Gay Pride Parade.
As the I was gonna say the headmaster, but it's not a principal, so the grandmaster.
Yeah, but he's not excited about it.
No. Definitely not excited about that at all. And then we have the Nomi Ama Bagamita.
Yeah, and we talked about this where they're in the theater and the guy shows up wearing the V for Vendetta mask and...
Well, let's stop talking about that and let's talk about the real meat of it. is when Leto comes in.
Yeah, so
He's so sad before.
I said Leto pops in for a confidence boost. So we know he's like depressed, and it's nice that they go from like he's feeling, like he's trapped, and they go in there and that here's Bug appreciate, which this is the only redeeming quality for Bug. He's a big Leto Rodriguez fan, and he gives him the thing, and we get that nice little smile from Leto because he feels
No more lies.
I don't know what he was doing there.
No idea,
he's
but
just
it was amazing.
cutting the guy's throat and sticking his face in there.
It was
but
so good.
Yeah, so it's like a really sweet moment to go along with another Nomi moment.
I loved it. I literally it went past and I looked at Jason and I go, well, I loved that.
Yeah, right. So did I. So
that was great.
yeah, and it's just a moment, but it's really good.
It's really funny because when I first started the show, episode 1, season 1, Leto just seemed like somebody I could take or leave. It was just like a character. And now I'm like, if you ever do anything to Leto,
Yeah.
I'm gonna Leto.
Yeah. And it's about to get really Leto centric in this show.
Good.
Yeah, which is it's going to be a lot of fun. So.
Good. Okay, good. That's what I like to hear.
But jumping back to Kala, and this is actually this is actually kind of an important thing because she comes out to speak to Rajan.
He's up to something shady.
Yeah, he's up there with douchebag Ajay, who just could have got blown over the counter, over the ledge there. I would have been all right with it.
I'd be super fine with it.
Yeah, and she's talking about like irregularities she's finding, and he's like, "Oh no, it's okay, whatever. Just sweep it under the rug.
Nope.
This is how we do business."
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. That's all I kept saying was nope.
No, and it's so she's not buying in, and it's just building up her discomfort, and her unhappiness.
I was
guess, in that
actually really
situation.
excited about this scene because I'm like, oh, good. He's not just a sweet guy that's like innocent of nothing. Like, there might be a reason it's okay to leave him.
Right. So you're actually like, I've never really had a problem with Rajan, but now it's like, okay, now I'm kind of rooting against you. Even though I've always wanted to see the Kala and Wolfgang thing be expanded.
There was no reason
I wasn't rooting against Rajan necessarily.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
it's just her piece on the side.
But the moment when she's found the I can't say it.
Irregularities.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The moment she found that, I was like, oh, good. You just gave me a reason to be more okay
Yeah.
with what I now coin as Wolfala.
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 It sounds like something from The Lion King.
Wolfala.
Wolfala!
Wolfala. Instead of Simba.
And speaking of Wolfgang, that's where it jumps to next. And he's what is he? Is he on the balcony? He's
been tricked by Lila Fekini.
Yeah, and she shows up, and I like these because I used to hear Adam Nakies. She shows up all Nakies.
All kinds of naked.
Yeah, and he's at Fuchs' house or Fuck's house, however you want to pronounce that.
I thought it was Fuchs, and then he actually called him Fuck, so.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, change approved.
Yeah. And like she keeps trying to seduce him, and like it
He's
seems
just not that into her.
right. Any chemistry we thought they had when he was first feeling her up was just an initial wanderlust at
Like whoa, what's going on?
At a new Sense8, because now he's just like, no, I don't need you. I don't need anyone. He's a lone wolfie.
I know.
Yeah.
Love it more.
But we do find out that Fuchs is targeting the other. I hate that they call them kings, but the other kings of crime in Berlin.
I know.
Yeah,
Again, another cliche, cheesy way to approach it.
Some part of me wants to think that this is some kind of Game of Thrones reference, and I'm just like, I guess it's because the first one was the King of the North.
King of the North, yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, don't.
It had to be, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it really had to be. But yeah, she's really playing it from every angle just to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
She's looking out for number one.
Yeah, she is.
So, and then this is one of my favorite parts. Detective Moon.
Yeah, shows up at the Sensei's joint.
You know that's not who she lost her virginity to?
Is it not?
Apparently it's not.
Where'd you hear
I
that?
read that on the AV Club.
Oh.
But yeah, it was like, I was reading about the episode just today, and it was some observations, and they said that that's actually not the same guy. I want to look into that, though, because there would be no reason behind doing that if it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, maybe maybe it's the actor changed, but the suggestion is that it's the same guy.
Well, see, that's what I thought. And you tell me, because you've seen it. Is it the same guy?
I think it's the same guy.
Okay.
Like,
because I was told it wasn't, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why would they do that?
I will say the last time I watched it, like, I thought the auditorium looked different than they were in. But
I wanted to go back and watch the first episode.
Yeah, if that's the case, it's overly complex, and it seems so much simpler if that's the guy.
I actually screenshotted that specific comment because I thought it was very interesting. Okay, so this is from the AV Club, by the way. I don't want to not source my stuff. A correction from my previous review. Apparently, Detective Moon isn't the guy Sin had first had sex with, but just another one of her competitors from that match. That's why he recognizes her, but she doesn't recognize him. While it makes sense that Sun would have left an impression on multiple young men during that event, I maintain that from a storytelling point of view that it is confusing to place two important encounters at the same competition.
Yeah.
But I just don't agree.
I feel like in the spirit of the show, it's the same guy.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and maybe it's a different actor. I don't know, but
I didn't like that observation. I'm like,
I don't know what they are drawing that from, unless it's from,
not
like I
watching
said,
the rest of it.
Unless it's from
not watching the rest of it.
Yeah, from being a different actor, or from it being a different setting. And I mean, that's pretty loose.
I thought it was interesting that they would say that. But
yeah. But then anyhow, we jump to Nomi. She uses E-Death.
Wait, before we...
Oh, sorry.
Because all I did was address that it's not the same person. But this guy comes in and he meets with the sensei. And I really love this scene because it was obvious he knew that Sun was around.
Yeah,
he knew that she was
there were two teacups and the setting. Like,
and he even called it out, but he like maintained that I am on her side.
Yep.
Here's my card.
Right. And like... I feel like he even made some sly comment like that was even directed to her, like almost like he knew she was behind that partition right behind him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and this is another reason why I don't agree with this observation for AV, but I thought it was interesting. Is because there's obviously something behind the sun and the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that the AV is wrong.
All right.
With relative confidence.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, yay, I like that.
Yeah.
Good. That makes me happy.
Yeah. But so yeah, that is interesting because now we know he is on her side. He's not just, doing something for himself, but that he cares about it to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And then Nomi uses E-Death, blah, blah, blah.
Blah.
It works the way they told you it would work. All her bolos and warrants disappear magically.
Do you hear the level of our voices? Because that's how she acts.
Yeah, and we find we find out about it through a fucking app.
Oh my god!
And it's just
I could not watch it.
It's terrible. It's really bad.
It's the worst thing ever. An app.
Yeah.
An app.
I know.
Really?
So anyhow,
and there's an app for that too.
Moving on. Things start moving really fast now.
Let's go back to Lido.
We go back to Lido. So he walks into the bar. All the Sense8s are together. They kind of walk in with him. It's that same bar from season 1. It's the same bartender that he kissed.
That's one of the outfits. I'm like, is that one of the outfits?
No, that's not one of the outfits.
With the suspenders.
Yeah, and he tells them, the last time you were in here inspired me to go ask, which is a little weird because there were two run-ins. The first one was the guy's like, I want to take you in the bathroom and fuck you. The second one, they kiss. And in this third one, he's like, oh, thanks.
Somebody to marry him.
You made me want to go ask my boyfriend to marry me. It's like, well, what were you thinking in the first place?
I'm not going to go any further with this comment, but it does make sense.
Does it?
Yes. Free people. They love is love is love. They do.
I guess.
There is a difference between
you could have just
jealous girls.
You could have just moved in with your boyfriend. You didn't have to marry him. Like if you.
And also, it's he's a gay man who's like, I got a boyfriend. I don't got a husband, and this is Lito Rodriguez.
Okay, I didn't take into the celebrity factor. I don't know.
You got your list. He's like, but you were number 3 on my list, so it was cool.
Yeah, sorry. I'm loyal.
But by the way, I I could never do it either. Even if I had a list, I'd be like, I thought this was okay, but I'd have to walk away from awkwardness now.
Yeah.
The part where he talks about his fiance and all of a sudden they just pan back to this shit-eating grin.
I wrote down his fucking Pepe. So like, that's the guy's name. His name is Pepe. He's sitting over there with this stupid-ass smile on his face. Like, I don't know who this guy's related to, but he's obviously somebody that got stuck in the show because he knew somebody.
Yes, because it was the weirdest. Like, I literally was sitting there, I'm like, did that just happen?
Yeah, it's so weird. And I'm just like the first time I saw it, I think I rewinded it, and I'm like, what?
It's not even cheese. It's just like unbelievably like
weird.
Yeah,
and I swear, like, it's got to be somebody who means something to somebody.
It has to be.
Outside the
it has to be. Like, I have a role for you.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 seconds.
I'll get you in here.
Yes, exactly.
That's the only time I wish this was a visual medium.
I wish this was a video podcast and you could see what he just did, because that's exactly what I thought. Like, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like, it was so weird.
But Kaffia says, courage is contagious.
How do they take those shots, though?
I don't know. I'm guessing Lito had to drink them all. This guy puts down tequila, by the way.
I'm like, because is there like 7 floating shot glasses? Like...
Yeah.
Downing shots or what?
And like in the moment, Will's like, yeah, okay, we have to be courageous. Mm-hmm. And then it cuts to the greatest fucking bathroom I've ever seen in my life. Where is that? Because Will, they're in a dump. And this is I want to travel to where this bathroom is just so I can visit this bathroom. It's awesome.
You could not be more right.
So I don't. And then I also wrote down Will is shaving again. So that means things are going a certain direction because the beard had grown out.
Yes. That has to be what it is, right?
When things are down, he grows the beard out. When things start improving, he shaves the beard.
We're gonna shave it.
Yeah.
We're gonna shave it. And then
yeah, they decide to do the concert.
Yes, that's it. Then they just via Vincent.
Right.
And I love
another Lito moment.
I'm really sorry. This is getting sickening. I'm very sorry.
I just like that when you look down at your notes, like, I know she's about to say Lito by how happy she gets when she looks at
I know. It's like, I was just about to say, for anybody that doesn't like Lito, probably turned this off like 2 episodes ago. But like, are we really going to put our lives in the hands of Vincent? What's wrong with Vincent? And Kaffia.
Because he doesn't like your movies. Like, yeah, movies say a lot about somebody.
He's got great comedic timing.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm going to literally like share our podcast to the actor and be like, you ever want an ego boost?
But then we get like 3 really good quotes. Sun says, you can't win a fight protecting yourself. Nomi, I guess it's not great.
Oh, no. Honestly, I love this quote.
Okay.
I thought it was a really great quote. And I was happy they gave it to Nomi.
Go ahead.
Okay. Your life is either defined by the system or the way you defy the system.
Right. And I feel like I've heard that before.
2017, damn the man, save the empire.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like I've heard that quote before, so I'm wondering if that's another Wachowski rehash.
Maybe.
But still, it fit and it was good.
I liked it.
It's one of the few times she talked this episode that I was happy.
I feel like they could have used that line somewhere else, though.
I think she could have, too.
It's a strong enough line to use somewhere else.
Yeah. And then Wolfgang says, you never fixed anything?
He said it.
So I was super excited when he said it, as always. Peter Griffin face.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
And then, the group toast to courage and they pseudo throw
They do
back.
that once an episode, right?
The toast?
No, the saying of the line. What's that called?
Oh, they do it every episode, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
I don't know what it's called. I'm calling it the Family Guy effect.
I like it. So she connects with other Sense8s.
Yeah. And they start playing Four Non-Blondes again.
Yep.
Not sure how I feel about that, but...
Yeah. You know what I liked it better than the fucking speech she gave. That she's all that 90s teen drama. I've got the mic, let me say something deep speech.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You don't understand.
It was very John Hughes.
I watch too many teen dramas to turn to Sense8 and then be faced with this.
Yeah, so do I, oddly.
It's like
But we get the Scottish guy, but during this scene,
Old Man Ahoy.
So they focus in on the Scottish guy, a monk with a flower tattoo, and then we see Puck.
Yep.
So
Good to know he's a Sense8.
right, so we find out these 3 other Sense8s. Puck is one of them. Even though it's not really officially confirmed here, you get the definite impression that the people they're focusing on.
I didn't realize that was Puck until the next episode.
Oh yeah,
So.
yeah. I think I
I need to
noticed
watch it
right off.
5 times in a row to be able to do that.
Yeah, so and then BPO crashes the party.
Yep.
They escape. We get to see Vincent's spectacular hair on the front of the boat. Which, listen, boat rides on Amsterdam canals. Another reason to go to Amsterdam.
I hear we're going to Amsterdam.
I'm trying to formulate a plot.
Okay.
End up in jail or shot. But that's like, and that's basically where the episode cuts out. So it was overall a really good episode, I think.
I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite, but the Lido parts.
Very good introduction to the next one.
Yeah, the Lido parts and some of the mechanisms that are moving forward. Even though I didn't like how they got there, it moved it along well, which I
Yes.
thought was the strength of the early part of the season.
Very good way to put it. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But that's it for this. We'll see you next week. You want to tie a bow on this, bitch?
Let's do it.
You go ahead.
See you later, little buddy.
Nice. Peace.